Hi everyone, welcome to another video by Scrapbook Centrale. Today is Tutorial Tuesday and we are playing with the Impression Obsession background stamps. Because today we're using large background stamps, we need an acrylic block that will accommodate this large surface. I have here the Fiskars stamp press, which is quite easy to manage. You just simply put your stamp on this side and then you just press down. So that's one option. The other option is the Mega Mount acrylic block from Impression Obsession. The Mega Mount acrylic block will allow you to stamp your large background in one fell swoop. And it's just a matter of doing the rocking motion. The large handle allows for an even distribution of pressure throughout the large stamp. And I'll show you how to use this one today. The background stamps we'll be using today are the Distress Brick and the canvas, as well as these leaves number F8199, and they're all from Impression Obsession. I'm also going to be using this stamp set by Hero Arts, and it is the Very Special, and I'll be using this sentiment here, thanks for everything, and I'll be stamping this with jet black archival ink. The preferred ink for background stamping is chalk ink, and that's what will give us a nice soft look. I'll be using Color Box chalk inks in dark moss, creamy brown, and burnt sienna. These are the cat's eyes format because that's what I have on hand, but we also carry the larger format like this one. We'll also use Gloss Gel by Viva Decor in transparent. Our card base measures 5 1/4 by 5 1/4, so we'll need a piece of cream colored cardstock measuring 5 1/4 by 10 1/2, and then we'll fold that in half. Another piece of cream colored cardstock measuring 4 by 4, and a rust colored cardstock measuring 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. Our first step is to adhere our stamp onto the Mega Mount, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up at the bottom so that I can line up my piece of cardstock properly. So I'm just going to make sure that my pattern is going straight across here, and I've lined this up at the bottom here. You cover the whole stamp with the creamy brown chalk ink. Obviously, if you have the biggest format of stamp pad, it goes faster. And if I have some patches that have the lightest shade of ink, I'm fine with this because I'm aiming for a distressed background and not something perfect. Alright, so I've got a good coverage here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to line up the Mega Mount perpendicular to my piece of cardstock. You want to rock your Mega Mount onto your paper and applying even pressure. One word of caution, don't rock back because then you risk the chance of missing the first impression and then you'll have a fuzzy pattern. So I'm just going to line up my stamp like this. And I'm going to stand up for this because I feel that I'm going to get a better impression. And I'm going to apply even pressure on my Mega Mount and pressing down as I go, rocking forward like this. And this is what you get. Sorry, my piece of cardstock got stuck. So we've got the beginning of our background. Now what we're going to do is we're going to layer our distressed brick right over that. And again, I'm going to take my stamp lining up at the edge here. And you won't be able to see the ink because it's the same color as the rubber. And again, I'm going to line up the edge of my cardstock with right in line with my stamp. And once again, I'm going to apply even pressure, rock, and lift. And there you have it. I'm going to zoom in so you can see up close what it looks like. So we've got our beautiful canvas background and our bricks laid over that. So now we'll do our leaves, and I'm going to use a dark moss, and again I'm going to ink up my leaves really well, and I'm just going to lay that right over our bricks. I'm going to aim for this corner right here, press really well like this. I'm going to stamp more leaves here at the bottom and maybe one coming off from the top, and I think I want it at the bottom here. Give it a good press, like so. And I'm gonna add just the tip of a leaf right up top here. Or let's do it this way. Right in that upper corner here. Beautiful. Before putting my card together, I'm gonna add my sentiment, and I've got this "Thanks for everything," which I'm gonna be stamping with the archival ink. And I'll be stamping it right here. Like so. And then I can put together my card. Like this. And I'll be mounting this on foam squares. And I'll bring back my card base here and just line this up in the middle. And I always like to stand up when I do this. So this is pretty one-dimensional because our background is layers of stamping. So I'm going to add some dimension with the Viva Decor Glossy Gel in transparent right here. You could also use glossy accents for this. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some drops of dew on my leaves. I like to use gloss gel for this application because it dries three-dimensional. If you're using glossy accents, your water droplets will dry flat, so it's a matter of choosing the effect that you want. And I'm going to vary the size of my dots. This also helps framing the title that I have here. I just added one that's coming off of my leaf just to create some movement. Once this is dry, it's going to dry clear and it'll give you the impression of morning dew on your leaves. So I've completed my card, and here's a close-up of what it looks like when the gloss gel has actually had time to dry. And as you can see, it creates that beautiful illusion of water on my leaves. And this is the full card. And I quite enjoyed working with these background stamps, and I can't wait to play with all of the other ones that we have at the store. Now, I think that because we've used a chalk ink, it gives it that nice subtle look. It actually feels like chalk a bit, although nothing comes off of my hands. And the reason why I decided to go with just a gloss gel here as opposed to something more striking, I just wanted to keep that subtle feel to my card. And let me show you some other examples that Natalie did with the background stamps. Here's one that Natalie made with the flourish stamps, the flourish background stamp and the canvas. Here's one she made with a screen background stamp in light yellow and the vines in green. I also wanted to show you that you can create actual embellishments with your background stamps. Here she's created 3 different combinations of backgrounds and cut them up in rectangles to create nice fun elements. She's done the same here, and she's also added a plain, not a plain, but a full background on the back, and she's used 2 different elements here. Here's another look. She's actually created different backgrounds and then cut them up in little squares to create this quilt-like card. And here's another example here. Here's another fun way to use background stamps. She's actually stamped different backgrounds and then decided to punch out flowers out of those backgrounds. So as you can see, there's a variety of things you can do with background stamps, so you're not limited to a full background. You can actually use those stamps to create some fun designer paper, make it your own and create them with your favorite colors. So the possibilities are really endless. Here are some more samples, and as you can see, you can get quite interesting and beautiful results when you combine all the different designs and using different colors. And these are just a few. We have lots and lots more designs in the store, so there's definitely a good selection for you to play with. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and that you'll get to play with those background stamps by Impression Obsession. If you have any questions, as usual, leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next week. Bye!